Hello, friends. This is Dr.NoorNigar, and today I'm going to summarize the lesson for the first chapter of Carvalho. So, how the story begins: the author is the narrator of the story. One rainy season, one morning, the narrator goes to the Modigere Beekeepers Cooperative Society in Malnad, that's a village in Karnataka, to buy honey for his father, as he felt it was cheaper there than at Mysore. Now, why he had to buy honey for his father? Because an Ayurvedic physician had advised his father to take a spoonful of honey with water every morning. And the author thought if he's going there, let him buy for the whole year. And he decides, he calculates one spoon and then he calculates it with the number of days his father has to take. So for the whole year, he decides to buy 7 bottles of honey. And the price that he had calculated was around 10 rupees per bottle. And when he goes there, he sees two rooms, one big and one small. And in one of the rooms, there were scales for weighing, the big room. And then there was nobody around. So he goes to the small room where he sees two men. They were busy writing something, scribbling something. And these two men were Mandana and Lakshmana. Now, Mandana, the moment he saw the narrator, he said, no, we don't want to buy honey from you. You please go away. Now, he mistook the narrator as someone who has come to sell honey to them. And when Lakshmana, he sees the narrator, he immediately recognizes him that he is somebody from the film industry. And then when he says, the author says, I have come to buy honey. At this point of time, Mandana says, you better have potted honey than buying bottled honey. And then he goes on to explain the difference between the two. He says the bottled honey would cost a little more than the potted honey. And the potted honey is less than the bottled honey, obviously. And the bottled honey is extracted with the help of a machine, whereas the potted honey is hand extracted. And the bottled honey is a little shiny, whereas the potted honey was a little dull. Now, the narrator felt that he has come to buy honey, doesn't matter whether it is shiny or it is dull. He decides to buy potted honey. And then these two men asked, for how much do you want to buy? Now, the men were shocked when the narrator informs them that he wanted to buy honey worth 70 rupees. And then they advised him, why would you buy bottled honey or potted honey? Rather, you can give 78 rupees and buy a tin full of honey, a tin of honey. The narrator has actually, when he came, he had seen tins while entering this cooperative society. And then he, in the beginning, thought it was a kerosene depot, and those were tins containing kerosene. He did not know that, they were selling honey in tins. Now, how could they sell? The author was surprised that how could these people sell honey so cheap? To which Mandana explains that the gurugi trees, which bear flowers once in 8 years, they have all blossomed, and that has resulted in excessive production of honey. Now, why did they send the beekeepers back? It was due to this excessive production of honey, because these flowers have blossomed and there were enough honey and there were excessive honey. The society had ran out all the money they had in trying to buy money, and they have raised loan to buy money, and even they have run out of the loan money which they have borrowed from the bank. And so now whoever comes to sell honey, the beekeepers, when they came to sell honey to this beekeepers cooperative society, they had to send them back. That is one of the reasons why Mandana mistook the author as somebody who has come to sell honey. And mainly because it was a rainy season, everywhere it was muddy, his clothes were dirty, and that could be one of the reasons why he thought he was a poor bee seller, and he told you, please go away from here. Now, then the author decides to take a honey tin, and then Mandana immediately goes and climbs up the stacked kerosene tins to get the best honey. And he says the best honey is from the Gutti area. Okay, and then the narrator decides to take that honey. When he goes and climbs the tins, he somehow loses control of it, and the tins start tumbling down as if they were hit by an avalanche. However, the honey did not spill because the lids were shouldered, means they were, shouldered, so they did not spill. Now, the author keeps the honey tin, which was very heavy, on his jeep, which was around 40 years old, and he leaves the place. With this, the first chapter comes to an end. Thank you.